Hey guys, what is up? This is gonna be the newest edition of the Old School series. We have 2005 $200 no limit. As we saw last time, we are now doing them chronologically. For this year, I think that makes more sense for the smaller kind of stakes, even though 1-2 is a very good grinding stake. It is very small to compared to all the stuff that is still coming. So we're gonna go through these chronologically. At this moment, we are in 2005. We're in May, guys. This is May 2005. We saw last time that we still do all the overbets that we also discussed in 2 videos ago, where we saw some of our inner Isildur coming out. There's definitely a lot better strategy. There was some slow playing involved as well. It's just becoming a little bit more refined, you know, like multi-level, where it's not like we do this, so this happens. It's like we do this, so sometimes we do this, and then sometimes we go for this strategy. We're gonna, you know, we also last time we took out the sets, so there's no videos where I flop sets on the flop because 80% of the hands were dominated with me having a set in a certain situation. So keep posting the comments. You see that we kind of learn as we go when it comes to videos and when it comes to content and when it comes to this series especially. And because we have so many of these coming, it's really cool if we can kind of point the needle in exactly the right direction. And I think that we are accomplishing that. So let's jump in it. So these are not necessarily the 25 biggest spots that I played, but this is just to show that year. So this is the progression of the year. And then that is not the only thing that we have from that year. Can't really look at it right now without fucking up what I have open, but that's not the only thing that we have this year. We also have there's going to be PLO in the Tilt edition, that's for sure. There's also going to be 1020 already this year. So it's going to be very interesting to see when we actually got to 1020. I think guys that the summer of 2005, so within a few months of this particular hand, in the summer of 2005, I think that we really figured out a strategy that started crushing, and I think from that point on I just flew through the stakes. So let's get into it. 12 too small, you know. If your standard 3-bet sizing is 12, every time there's more people in the pot you need to up it, because there is and more money to steal. You have to keep decreasing the odds for your opponents to call, and it's an easier way of continuing with the hand. 61, this seems like a snap fucking call. Let's see what we're up against. Ace King of Hearts. I got third. I got third. Alright guys, great playing with you guys. See you next time. Nice hand, Ace 9. Yeah, here it's kind of funny that here you see one of the problems with flatting a hand multi-way with a hand like Ace 9. This is actually really fucking common. You have an overcard against somebody with an overpair, but then you're dominated by somebody that has an higher ace. And then this sort of stuff needs to happen for you to win the pot. So don't play these fucking hands multi-way. I really hope that it's not too annoying. There's not that many cars driving by, but I hope it's not too annoying because it's much nicer for me to have the window open while I do these, because I got a pretty big headache from the last one. Alright, if that sound goes away, then we'll do it, but doesn't really pick up on the mic that well. Alright, cool. So yeah, don't play Ace 9 hands. Let that be the lesson of today. We got kings. Of course there's going to be a lot of overpairs, but playing overpairs is very tricky, right? So it's not necessarily where it's a slam dunk all in, slam dunk fold. Playing overpairs is very tricky. I don't mind this. I would like to make it a little bit more expensive. This is definitely very fucking bad. Anything that this guy has a call now, even if it's 4 or 5 offsuit almost. I mean, that has like 11% against my hand, so it's not quite 4 or 5 offsuit, but it's close. I guess we also represent so much weakness here. We really have to call this. It's not necessarily always great to have somebody shove into you, but there is straight draws, there is flush draws. People could just punt in a 10. The only thing that you could say is that it's a little bit less clear that they're going to get a 10 in because an overcard to the 10 appears. And I have to say, what really fucks me here is this. Is me putting in me putting in another bet. I told you guys that you have to do the outs times 5 plus 2%. Outs times 4 plus 2% when you go all in on the flop. Here you see that's not true, but that's because he has the 4 of hearts, and if it comes the king of hearts, he has 20% redraw. So that's why. Yeah, so I would have liked to see a bigger raise or a flat here, but in the end on this board I don't think you're gonna escape. If we see all the hands and all the hands that people get it in with, I think that it is just not else, and we just have to suffer the consequences. Is this one of the first times that we actually see a shit hand being played? And it's flatted. It's very deep, so it's super fucking deep. So you can definitely say, like, the deeper you are, the more room you have to play, especially in position. You do not want to play when you're out of position most of the time, because you have more information when you're in position. You have the last say. It's also easier to respond to board mutations, because when you're out of position and you don't have initiative, if you immediately start firing, it becomes a little bit more obvious. Whereas in this particular scenario, it is fine. I would have liked to see a re-raise with hands like this, and then still this is not a great hand to pick, but you know, we can't have it also. Dear Lord, I don't have a tongue anymore. 12 raise. I like this. I like this. We're really deep. Against all sorts of hands, it's good to get some money in the pot. If he has an ace high flush, we're gonna go broke eventually anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, I'm gonna close my window for it. I'll have a headache. I'll have a headache before. Alright. Okay. So I think there's a lot of advantages to raising. We just get a lot of money in the pot against hands like ace, king, king, queen. People are gonna assume you have a draw a lot, and because you have a draw, sometimes it's really good to have flushes, and you know, that sort of thing. 56. Now we're talking. We are finally just upping the bet sizing. Used to just bet like 30 here, but that's just not the way to get value. So this is 26th of May. Let's hope that we go for like 140 here. At this point, that we have to assume that this guy, he either has a hand like ace queen with a heart, ace jack with a heart, and he's not calling rivers, or he has a hand that he wants to call with. Maybe he'll get stubborn with the king because the board run out is really safe if he puts me on a draw, or he just has a lower flush or a set, and against those against that whole range that we expect calls quite a bit. We just have to bet big, so I really hope that there's like $140, $150 in here. Okay. Wow. Alright, I love this. Alright, I fucking love this. 2 times pot. Huge fucking hand. I think there's a big chance that this guy was really bad. Just playing too much, playing too many hands. I just wanted to play as many pots as I could with him. That also shows, like, this bet sizing is... I'm so happy. I've always thought that I didn't overbet that much back in the day, but now we're seeing a lot of these hands, I do overbet a lot. Well, so this is really comes down to like figuring out, well, somebody has something or they don't, and if they have something, they're most likely calling, and then a big bet really becomes very enticing. I didn't even consider the 2 times pot because it's just like something that I don't relate to this time at all. Look at you. Guy's like, this guy called me with queen 6 of hearts for how much? 4. How big was the pot? 1,000. Okay. Well, maybe that's the problem, right? No, but really tough hand for this guy. Yeah, really tough hand. I mean, if you want to make like the sickest bluff, or a really sick bluff, if you have a hand like ace jack, ace queen with a heart yourself, then this is also a really sick line you can take. I think this would be a really good line to take in this day's climate as well. Definitely kind of the PLO school of playing, but yeah, wow, huge pot. I'm not going to be surprised if this ended up being the biggest pot of the year. We can look at the top 3 of the biggest pot of the year. That includes sets as well, just to show you guys what the biggest ones were. But I do think there's a big chronological story to tell here. Holy shit. Alright, this house next door is like 2.5 million or something, and these like 20-year-olds are going to check it out. Alright, it's nice life. Is this exactly after this pot? Let's look that one up. Let's see. Where's the Queen 6 of Hearts? Yeah, same session. So this is really fun. Now we get to see stuff like this. This is the same session. Look at the stack. Apparently, you know, stayed at the table. We have the same players. This is 2 hours later. I have a funny story to tell. It's not really funny, but it's very interesting, and there's a lesson in there. So this guy, I think this guy, Goose58, I'm not 100% sure, but I do recognize that the guy, and it reminds me of something. When I played a lot of 25-50 cent, I would raise ace king, ace queen. I would bet if they hit, I would bet $2. If they missed, I would bet $3. Obviously very, very bad. This is something that people will figure out, you think. So normally this would always work. Then this guy got really mad at me after I got lucky against him, and he started saying in the chat, this guy always, like, just so you know, this guy always bets $3 when he misses and $2 when he hits. And at first I kind of like panicked, you know, and I think that's also like the thing that poker teaches you. At first I panicked and I thought, oh my god, this guy's laying out my strategy, and I was just like, okay, so now I know exactly how to bluff this dude. And then I just started betting $2 instead of $3 when I missed against him, and he kept folding, and I kept it the same when I hit, because obviously if I switch it around, he's like, huh? He doesn't do that anymore. So I just bet 2 and he would just fold all the time. And I think that a lot of the times when people are mad in poker, they kind of they want to show off, or they want to make somebody feel bad, and they start pointing out their mistakes. One of the stupidest things you can possibly do. So somebody gets lucky against you, and you know that when he doesn't get lucky, you have a big chance of beating them. But then you get so mad over luck and bad luck that you tell them the tools that you use to beat them with. And they do this all the fucking time. People have done this to me so many times in my life. And it's also because I never really reply, I never really defend my strategy. It's an information game, and you need to take in information, and you definitely do not fucking give it away for free like that. Alright, so we call here. Okay, we're god moding the stable. Not gonna say too much about the call, because it's just you know, definitely a session where I was high. I was gonna say high as a kite, but I don't think I did much smoking behind the computer. So very iffy board, very, very fucking dangerous. Check back. That's not bad. That's not bad. I really like this check. The check back is okay. If he gives up here, I really think that he has something weak himself. My hand is not where I'm just super happy. If I bet and he check raises the turn all in, you could really consider a fold. At that point, you could check some medium to strong hands back to just have a very easy call on the river. So if the river comes to 7 and he bets, you just call. You call any type bet, 90, whatever, because you showed weakness, but you actually have a pretty strong hand. Yeah, is that clear? That's why in some lines, when you show weakness on a street, let's say you show weakness on the flop, and then you bet the turn, and then you bet the river, and they check raise you, you have to remember that you showed weakness previously in the hand. People forget about that. People just think, I got check raised on the river, what do I do now? No. 54. Oh, yeah, I mean, that's a standard call. Oh, that's smarts. That really smarts. All right. All right. I honestly think, okay, so now something very interesting. The next hand, I don't want to spoil the results. Let me see how I'm going to do this. So, look at this. All right, so this is the best way to do it. So look, this is from here. So we know I had a 2K stack on 1-2. And I told you guys about the buy-in rule, right? We only use 10 buy-ins for a level. The next time I played 1-2 is in June. Almost 4 weeks later. So what I honestly think happened here, here's the same thing. What I honestly think happened here is that I just took this money and moved up. That is very interesting to see. I think that this session made me move up stakes to 2-4. We'll find out later. We're gonna see if there's a lot of 2-4 being played at in May. Awesome. All right. So super unlucky there. Not much you can do. 100% have to call. This is a good hand to flat with, obviously. We have some of the ancestors of Joe Ingram. Yeah, sure, why not? Straight on the first draw, easily get this in. Yeah, there's just no debate here. Especially with all this debt money in. So there's $36 debt money and we have 26 invested. And even though he might have a set of 9s, oh my god, look at this, we're favorites here. If he has a set of 9s, it's a little bit different, and that's because he has more redraw outs. If we hit the 5 of diamonds on the turn, then he has 10 outs if he has a set to make it better, which gives him 20% redraw, which makes him a slight favorite. But this is actually not the case, because if we hit a diamond now, he only has, you guys know it, all in on the turn with 4 outs, that would be 9%. So big difference there. So we're small favorite here, and we, ooh, that's always nice though. It is always nice. Always afraid that we have too many outs. There's an online meme that you have so many outs that you're just gonna lose the hand. So this was good. I like the way this hand was played from start to finish. Really curious to see if we're gonna raise here. We do. I'm happy, because Ace King hasn't been particularly one of the hands that we've showed a lot of strength with. So, oh, the small blind min raise. There you go. Yeah, I see that 10 and make it 8 more. For the people wondering that you have to raise double, there's still another little poker mechanics thing. We go over a lot of like basic to medium stuff in poker. This is pretty good. I think if you watch these series, then you can actually have a lot of free coaching. Who would have thunk? So the raise is actually 8, right? So the bet is 2 because there was a blind bet. The raise is 8, which means that if he min raises, it is 18. If I would min raise, it would be 26 again, because the raise again is 8. Okay, so it doesn't have to be 36, it would be 26. Yeah, it's just a little interesting to know. In some countries it's different. I believe that in France they did that, you know, yeah, it just always had to make it 2 times the last bet, but not so sure if that's still the case. Okay. I really think that I could have just bumped it up to 60 here. If you see this, it's very unlikely that the guy did this with aces and kings, limped the small blind. He would have taken some action himself. If your worst case scenario is queens, fuck it, you have 50%. Even on the bigger side. Please don't get it in. Alright, it's fine. No. Ace 8 offsuit, ladies and gentlemen. Ace fucking 8 offsuit. Oh, there we go. We got it. This could have been a misclick, by the way, where I just accidentally did this. Instead of call, click, min raise, because it's a very weird sizing to pick as well. It's a weird hand too, so this might have been a misclick. Yeah, if you have this hand, then just know that you're only gonna win when people are bluffing, because if I go for value, you're fucked. So this is very bad. Very, very, very bad. Very, very, very bad. This is when you want to start pretending that you have kings, queens, jacks, and 10s and go check call mode. And then this is pretty much all the info. I can't believe that we got paid off. And this is the problem with my move as well, because now I give him the chance to get away from it. I don't know. There was no chance at all, I think. No chance, bro. No chance. Okay. Okay, we're getting a little bit more dicey. This is in August. August, alright, August. So we have a lot more experience on the medium stakes, I think. Honestly, guys, okay, so why I think this summer is so important. Liquid Nazgul, who is the founder and co-owner of TeamLiquid.net, one of the biggest esports communities in the world. So Liquid Nazgul, Victor Gosens, is one of my old StarCraft friends, and he's actually the guy that got me into poker. He told me about the game. He told me like, hey, I found a game you can make money with. I've seen people like Elke or other people play it, and it's really crazy. They play for like $200 and they don't even care if they lose because they say it'll work out. And I was like, whoa, what are you talking about? So we saw that my first few hands was from 2003 in November. In the summer before that, he told me about pokers, and every summer we would go to his house and we would have a meetup there with him and his real life friends. He has a really nice group of friends that have known each other their whole life, and some international people would come too. We had Avon, Liquid Iriador, people who know StarCraft will 100% know the name. who would also come and we just hang out. And we started playing poker there. His friends play poker, we play poker, we watch Rounders, we did Oreo cookies, we did all that stuff. Kitchen table, play for €5, you know. All that stuff that you guys probably did as well, or a lot of you guys did. During that summer, that's where I had my like poker aha moment. And I think that this is the summer that happened. So I think that the hands that we're going to see from now on are a lot more aggro, a lot more bad cards, a lot more crazy lines. Because that's when I realized if I continuation bet, so after pre-flop raising I continuation bet, when I miss with ace king and I take the pot down, why do I have to have ace king? Why can't I just use 9-5 offsuit for that? That's when I started playing 3 times as many hands and just started raising and pounding and playing hyper aggressive. So this is definitely a big moment for me. I think that's the biggest like poker aha moment. People always refer to their aha moments. That's the biggest one I've had when it comes to strategy, because I started doing stuff that people weren't really doing yet. Of course there were other aggressive people, but I was by far one of the most aggressive regulars playing that time. And that's why I started fucking crushing through the stakes. And I've been kind of waiting till we saw the moment. I think that this might be one of those moments, because I would always very aggressively respond to this happening. I just want to make one counterpoint so that you guys don't start fucking firing all your shit out. If you have 9-5 offsuit and not ace king, the chance that somebody else has an ace or a king x hand is bigger. So that's why it's really important to bluff with playable hands at least, so that you can have some chance against them too. So we're gonna see some. All right, here you go. Here you go. I like this. 10. 26, yeah, okay. So I'm definitely picking up a lot of. Oh, sorry guys, you don't even see it. All right, so here we go. I'm glad I caught that one. Here we go. 8, 8, diamonds. He leads 10. It's not that strong of a bet. Of course, it's a scary board, but I kind of realized my 5 is no good. I raise. He min raises. We're gonna call, and we get there. We're gonna raise here or flat. Probably gonna raise, because if he 3-bets the turn, it's more likely that he has straights more so than sets. Also because he check called the flop and people check raise sets a lot. I min raise. That's kind of bad. Oh god. Wow. We get fucked. There you go, aggressive young lad. I think it's inescapable though. I think it's inescapable. Like I said, I think it's way more often that he has a straight here. Maybe the click back was a little bit dodgy, but I do think that when we get there, we're kind of leaving a lot of value out on the streets. Interesting though, interesting. I'm gonna be curious to see what these other hands are gonna bring. I'm really curious to see the 2-4 level as well, which we're gonna be talking about next time, of course. Next time we are gonna be jumping to 2-4. I think I played about 35,000 hands, so I really got to know it. I've kind of played 1-2 throughout the whole year, as you can see. I think I bounced back a little bit, and that's also because people used bankroll management that was absolutely ridiculous. 10 buy-ins for a stake, so you have to move up and down a lot. All right, limp pots. Okay, gonna get it in. I'm just gonna skip through this because it's just gonna be hand versus hand here. Ah, stars nuts, don't do it to me. Don't send young Lex into the dark, down, deep tilt. Nice. Nice, nice. Strong swan. Golden Faith again. The guy used to be a big player. That guy played millions and millions and millions of hands at 2-4. I think also on PLO eventually. Yeah. Okay, cool. 9. Just mentioned the 9-5 offsuit. Okay, yeah. 6, 9, 20. Oof. Would really like to see check raise here. It's really hard. Oh, what the fuck? More Lima. That's interesting. That's interesting. Do we shove? I mean, what hands do we get called by? 3x? Okay, 3x possible, but I have a 3, so... What other hands? What other hands? 9s. Very uncommon. We have a 9, so there's only, what, 1 combo left. 4s. There's definitely 4s and queens, but it was a limp pot, so queens a little bit unlikely. Queen 3, foxes of course also too. Also reasonably unlikely because we have a 3 and he limped. I still don't know, man. I mean, back in those days, I guess you just kind of have to go for it. All right, and we wrecked. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Grow a pair of nuts. What do you... Look at this shit. What is this? What are you doing, man? Chick, 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 chick.
This son of bitch all night, it chick, chick, chick.
Jesus, how the fuck are you gonna get value like this? I still think that, I just said we have to go for it in those times. But if you think about all the combinations of hands, because you have to think about it, right? It's not just like, what if he has a 3? And he's like, what if he has a 3? And he's like, Jesus fucking Christ, this guy might have a boat. I'm gonna fold my 3-6. It happens. It does happen. But then again, maybe it happens too that people have king queen and think, yeah, right, you didn't even do anything before the river. Alright. Okay. So, Young Lex still played his ace-4 like a pussy in August. It's just like, these hands just, like we talked about last time, these hands just play so much better aggressively because you need initiative to take pots down when you miss. If you limp, people are never going to give you credit for like high card hands, like on a Jack 10 type board. Oh god. I like it, the double check. The double check. A lot of people are going to pot control a better ace on the turn. And because this guy was a pre-flop raiser, this is important, guys. Because this guy is a pre-flop raiser, people will expect... I'm sorry, see? I'm drinking coffee again. I get itchy. I'm just allergic. Because this guy is a pre-flop raiser, people will expect that I will check an ace. Because people always check to the pre-flop raiser. That happens so often, and back then it happened like 99% of the time. So you check. So if I bet here, people assume that I can still have a good ace. So, but if I want to slow play my ace or pot control it, I have to check twice. He checks as well. 5 on the river, 36. I would have liked to see this a little bit smaller. A very small chance somebody has anything. He has a 4, right? What the fuck is this? How to not play this again. This comes back in so many videos. If you're gonna let a lot of people in, if you're gonna give people a lot of free cards, don't go fucking crazy when the board doesn't work out for you anymore. Don't do this. Don't do this, guys. Vincent, come on, man. Get your shit together. But you guys know what I mean, right? Oh, yeah. Free card. Give him free card. Give him free card. Ooh. Oh, they bet. They overbet the pot. Oh, here you go. I raise. And then what? Call a fucking shove, too, while you're at it. Good job. Pot. Invested $7 up to the river in the pot. And then we got in 181 more. When I say it fast, it doesn't sound like much. But $181 more. When you had 7 invested on a 4-card straight board. Don't make that mistake, guys. Your hand value changes throughout the hand. Don't keep thinking, I have the nuts, I have the nuts, I have top set. It changes. It really changes. Alright, are we? Please see a raise. Nice, okay. At least we're gonna do that. A little bit more. Oof. 14, good sizing. 28, we can flat, we can raise. I guess it really doesn't matter at the time. I really want to see different bet sizes. But again, we talked about this in the past. If bet sizes seems so obvious and stupid to us now. Look how clear my fucking gray hair looks, dude. It looks like I'm one of those couches, you know, with the nasty shit, like that where you swipe your hand over it and it changes kind of. So when I would do this, it would go dark. Go dark, dark, dark. Go. No, it's not working. All right. So if it works, don't fix it. Maybe this was the optimal strategy back then. I mean, not optimal. Like I calculated it and it's optimal. Not saying that. Don't throw that in my face. Uh-oh. Aces. You have very little outs. You have 1 out to be precise, and we know how many percentages that is now, guys, right? Times 2. Okay, so back to what we were saying the last hand and every fucking video. If you slow play your fucking overpair, don't go crazy on non-favorable boards. You can go crazy, but it has to be a favorable board where people will not expect you to have an overpair and they think that their king-queen is always going to be good on a king-high flop. You do not just go for it on a board like this. Bet, raise. 3-bet. Call. Bet. Oh, great. There we go. I can finally get my money in. Oh, and then I bet you. I bet 52. He shoves. I call. First thing the person in the position of the aces thinks to himself is, shit. And when you say shit with a really strong hand when you get called, you should not be playing it that way. Alright. Cool. Thanks for the donation. 6-7 of hearts. Yes! Yes! Is this our first suited connector 3-bet? Yes! Oh my god, when was this? Oh, August. So we did learn something in August. This guy didn't learn shit yet. Folds, okay. 16, good sizing. 32, what are we gonna do? Please don't raise because we're too deep. I really wouldn't mind a shove for 200 here if we play 200 stacks, but when you're this deep, you just need to call. You can't just shove in or... Okay, good. We flat, and I'm not saying that we shove, but if you make it 90 here and you get raised the pawn, what are you really looking for? You have a 7 high flush draw, you could be up against ace 10 of hearts for all we know. Oh. That's an interesting card. Alright, he bets 24. A little bit iffy. If he would have bet like 90 or 70, I would have thought that he had a set. Him betting 24, it could be less. I really like the check raise. Definitely could have gone bigger because I just don't push out any Jack X or Queen X here. I don't even push out King 10. You know what I mean? So really important that your bet sizes have multiple functions. 3, 8. That's good enough. Oh my god, please don't raise. Okay, nice. Ace Queen. Alright, so that worked out. You see, this is not the type of situation you want to be up against Isildur. If he would have had like 500, then he just jams his Ace Queen. Because he's like, I don't know if I'm good, but I have the Ace of Hearts, and you don't. So, good luck. Alright. Alright, that worked out. Really good to see the first 3-bet, because if you're going to 3-bet with hands that are not Ace X or Broadway oriented or high pairs, then you should have hands that at least play well over multiple streets that can make some 5-card combinations. And I understand that 9 deuce offsuit can also make quads. But that's a 4-card combination, motherfucker. I just realized it. Alright, save myself there. Alright, Jack 10. Alright, how many dead blinds do we have in this hand exactly? Oh, only 4. Alright, so a new game. You want to play? Yes. This is absolutely insane. I can't believe that they had 4 dead blinds posted. 16, my man. Look at this, 17th of August. This is how you do it. This is how you get out all the riffraff. And then this gangster is really trying to say that with all this dead money out there, and after 2 people fucking checked, he checked an overpair? I don't think so, buddy. I don't think so. And I don't think I'm gonna believe him here. Yeah, we're just gonna go for this. Yeah, absolutely deserved. Jack. Absolutely undeserved. Give this fucker a 10. Give him a fucking 10 in your face, bitch. There you go. Nice. Alright. You see? I respect this. I respect this. I respect the fact. But it all comes down to having a believable story again. I respect the fact that this guy doesn't believe my raise. Because there's so much dead money to be picked up. And he's correct in this situation. I don't have that strong of a hand. But if you cannot rep a strong hand yourself, you're just gonna have to roll over and die. Because it doesn't work. There's no fucking possibility in my mind that you have an overpair here. This raise would not have worked if you had anything else either. Deserved, guys. So important that your whole story makes sense. Alright, we go to $10. We're gonna be up against a KJ69 Ballin. Well, all these names available, and this is what he came up with. Truly sad. 26. Oh, this is the kind of board where you do not want to see the min raise. Honestly, I think you can fold right here. I'm not even shitting you. Oh, there you go. Are we gonna get punished for our indiscretion? Yep, we are. See, you can just fold the fucking min raise. The bet sizing on the river really fucks us up, because I do think that you are worried of sets or straight. You are worried, but then this bet size really suggests 2 pair. Doesn't look comfortable. Yeah, this is just... Why is this not a bluff? Because he makes a 26 more in a pot of 125. Doesn't give a shit. Like, what does he have here, guys? Jack 9? No, not ever. Is he overplaying Ace 9? No, I don't think so. I mean, we've seen crazy shit, but yeah. I don't know the outcome of any of these fucking hands, so you can tell that some of them are like easy peasy, and I just think, alright, this is the easiest shove in the world, and then the next one I'll say, oh, this looks very sketchy. King Minor, is this King Minor? Wow, you guys, first Bitcoin user ever. Yeah, this seems like, ooh, Imagine, but you have to hit something really sick to be able to go for it multi-way. So I really don't like this call. I like the leads, just to debate everybody. He's just flatting here. This is definitely a little bit of a mistake of mine on my part too. If I'm gonna lead here, just do it bigger or bet 23 so that if he shoves you can isolate. But then you're stuck with this guy again. You can't really bet 18. Yeah. Seems legit. This has to be a win. King, Queen, wow, 10 Jack. This is a big pot. This is a big pot. These are the kind of pots that you play and it just feels like so effortless. Like you were never losing, you know? Oh, okay. You just know. Oh, it runs out. Yeah, of course. Because if he has a set, he's going to protect it way earlier. We'll just make it so easy for you. Alright, let's look at the sizing. This is 27th of August. Right before W Coup, even though I had no clue what the fuck that was back then. I don't even know if there was W Coup. What we'd like to see here, $20, please bank. 16. Alright, at least it's not the 3x that we saw in the last few videos. But you see, this is what you get. Alright, spadery in full force. Good. Fine. Shove. Good. 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 What are we sweating here? Ah, ha, 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 ha. No, no, no. No, no. That's why you don't play these type of hands multi-way in 3-bet pots. Alright, nice. Scoop it up. Okay, so we 4x'd a little bit better than what we did before that. It's good to see. 5 times. Do, re, mi, motherfucker. Good Eminem song. 10. Alright, 4-handed. Kinda sucks to not have a spade. I think I'm going to call here because there's draws, and he probably has one. Oh, yeah, he has a draw. A draw to 2 outs. An 8% draw. Alright, this is just... Again, guys, if you want to go... If you really just want to get the money in so fast because you're afraid of what's coming. If you're so afraid of what's coming, just re-raise pre-flop. This really is a good spot to just raise pre-flop. So, and people in their head just think that they're taking it easy in the hand and now is the time to strike. But you're actually just increasing variance by letting more hands in and putting in more money in a more uncertain situation. Because if you put it in pre-flop, at least it's a more certain situation, right? Like, there's less variables pre-flop is what I'm trying to say. Now it's like, and we short circuit and we just go for it. Even though this is actually not even that bad of a move, but this is not a bad move if you want to represent the draw. It is a bad move if you're afraid of draws. And I can guarantee you that this guy was just afraid of draws. And that's really important sometimes. So if somebody, I've also done a lot of coaching sessions and stuff in the past, and people would say, okay, so I raise here, and I would ask why. And sometimes you see that it catches people off guard when you ask them why. And then it's like, what do you mean why? Well, explain to me why you want to raise. And then they say, well, because I think this is a scary board. And I say, okay, that's bad. And then they say, and then they're like, what, you wouldn't raise here? Yes, I would, but not for that reason. Because if you do for that reason, that means you make a lot of mistakes in other situations as well. You're just not thinking about the game the right way. So if this guy wanted to fucking... I had a game once in Vegas, and it was like, I never really thought about it live. And it was it was a 10-20 game and had a really, really aggressive image. I was very like spewy, very, very aggro. And then I had kings and this guy made it 80. I made it 80 in 10-20 and this guy makes it like 350 or something. And I call and the board is 10-8, 10-8-6 with 2 diamonds. I don't have the king of diamonds. I check and he bets 400 and I shoved 6k. And that was one of the first times where I utilized live, like image, and the pre-flop plan was just to give him the idea that I was way weaker than I was, because I would call a lot of 3-bets. I wanted to do it with kings as well. Go for the hand. He stacks off instantly with queen 10. And he's just like, I can't believe you have kings there. How the fuck can you play kings? Why are you so afraid of a diamond coming? You see, and he didn't get it and I got it. I played it that way to represent a draw, to represent some of my weaker shit that I would overplay, and to put something in there. So if that's his motive here, that's good, but it wasn't, so it's bad. And I might not be giving him credit too much, but if that really was his move, I probably would have remembered his name, because if you thought this way, the right way back then, you would have been a crusher. Raise? God damn it, when am I gonna start fucking doing that? This is almost September now. Now we're just playing passively. Yeah, good flop. He did well. He did really well. I get min raise up, I get punished. And the shove. Please just flat this, don't shove. Alright, whatever. This guy only has 60 bigs, but it does seem like we're fucked here, doesn't it? Kings! Ace 5! Ha ha ha! Jokes on both you bitches. Yeah. Really hate playing ace way passively. Ace deuce, but it works out. At least we only see the times it works out when we hit really strong flops and not just like on an ace high flop where we just get in a lot of trouble. So I do think there was like a pot controlling, let's see if we can hit something aspect to it, which is not great, but it's better than overplaying like shitty aces. 20. Did I just 3-bet with jacks? I mean, it's so automatic and a good sizing. When is this? This is, look at this, 3 times out of position plus 1 big blind. In cash games I would go a little bit bigger these days, but back then this was perfect strategy. I can't believe it. We finally see one. Alright, debatable. Debatable, I think. Okay, yeah. Am I gonna go all the way here? Is this? Alright, team, I'm not entirely sure, but I am making, okay, what's really cool about strategy-wise, I'm not telling you that I think it's a good board, because I don't. I think that this is a very low chance of succeeding. What's really cool about it is I have a good hand. All of a sudden it's not so good anymore, and I adjust to the situation, and I turn it into a bluff. This is pretty complicated shit. This is really good shit. I mean, like I said, it's not gonna work. There you go. King, queen, yeah. Cool. Yeah, it's just not gonna work enough. Also, bad blockers, you want them to have hands with jacks in it, like queen jack, queen 10. Queen jack, jack 9, king jack is a good one to bluff off here. So the jacks block a lot of important combinations that we want to be up against, but really cool. Really cool. So, you know, sometimes you can be like, is this good? No, but remember it. You know, like remember that move. I feel like this is gonna turn more and more into coaching. Free online training, guys. This is not the board where you want to call on, because the 10 of spades is bad news. Who would it? Look at this. I fucking love this. And of course, it really depends if the guy has jack 8. But it's just really cool to see that I keep doing stuff like this. This is also August. You can really see like my game refining itself into different moves, more strategy. This is a little much. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that shoving 6 times pot here is not very GTO on a board that gets checked on the card that should help me here. Right? Because if we look at it, if somebody is gonna take this line, what do we need for them on the river to pay off an overbet? We need them to have a straight, which against one we chop, the other is pretty uncommon, but it happens sometimes. Ace queen, ace 10, ace 9 perhaps sometimes. Sets. Do all those hands check the turn. I don't think so. So, pretty bad spot to overbet, but cool to see nonetheless. Just figuring out new shit. It's worth something too, you know? 6, definitely a hand I would choose to 3-bet with nowadays, because it's just too hard to play multi-way. 6, 12, 12, okay. Jeez, what the fuck are these times, man? Take us back, guys. Everybody's talking in the comments about time machines. I wholeheartedly agree with you. 12. I hate this. I hate this. This is really one of those situations where you just need to ride it out and keep calling. What are we saying here? We have Queen 10. What are we? Yeah. No. Are you serious, man? You deserve Queen 10 so hard in your face here. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, nice overplay. Nice overplay. Just shut your fucking eyes and just go for it. Don't think about what you're representing, what this guy could be having. Calls the flop, so he draws in his range. Hits the draw. There's tons of fucking action. Name a hand. Name a hand that I beat, that he does this line with. Because I was going to say 6s, but we clearly don't beat that. Yeah, I deserve this one. Very much. Ooh, purple chips. I remember when the first time I won a purple chip in the pot, I was like, what the fuck? There's a purple chip. Yeah, very bad. Very much overplayed. Push out everything. Oh my god, we still did this shit? This is October, man. And then lead? Like, not even give... Oh my god. Everybody's so fucking terrible. What a clown fest. What a fucking clown fest. Alright, good job, guys. Folds, call. Ace 10 of spades. That's pretty brutal, but let's be honest. Let's look at this. Is this really something that... Is this really... What the fuck is this? This guy had a straight, probably. Yeah, I bet the guy had a straight. Wow. Alright, yeah. How to not stack off. She just ripped it in on a flop. Alright. So, last 3 hands. So these are the last 3 big pots I played in 2005. On 1-2, we have 2-4 coming. We have 5-10 coming, and we have... No, sorry. This year still has 2-4, 3-6, 5-10, and 10-20 coming. And I think this is the first year they introduced the 10-20 tables. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking going there, but... I think... we're gonna talk about that later, when we actually discuss this. So flatting here seems absolutely fine for that time. Alright, I can dig with it. I can dig it. Don't you dare. How many hots are in this fucking deck? Alright, nice. So just like, it's pretty close to a flip on the flop. Kappa. Yeah, that doesn't make sense anyway. Because you don't have, for some reason I thought that you have 10 outs on the flop, which would give you 42%, right? But obviously you don't have 10 outs. You have less outs to hit on the turn, because you have a jack, 3-7, 3-4s. So you have 7 outs on the turn, and then this one gives you 3 extra outs. So it's very far away from a flip. Yeah. Nothing you can do here, really. So sad, man. So sad, but nothing we can do. Oh, man, start raising these fucking hands. I can't believe I was still so... Is this... I'm getting a little bit mad. I really wonder if 2005 is the first time I went to an EPT. Wouldn't that be silly? I don't think so. I think 2006 is my first EPT. I'm gonna Google that shit right now. When was... I can just look at my hand and mob. And then mob. My internet always stutters a bit when I just open it, so... Be patient, there we go. The hand and mob. Player name. Looks Veldhuis. 1 player in the database. So... let's look at this shit. Abysmal. Where do we start? Master Classics, November. Jesus Christ. I made a final table of an 800 euro tournament playing like this. Yeah, oh my god. I had already played EPT London here. Holy shit. So EPT London was at like the end of this year. Like somewhere in October or something. Or September. I was getting more gangster. What the fuck? I was getting more gangster here. Got 20th. God damn it. I don't even know I busted anymore. It's so crazy. So crazy to not remember that. First big life cash. I was flying high though. I started crushing around this time. This is also when I met my friends. This is when like the LERP guy I was talking about earlier and check kills and howling goal and stuff. This is when I started getting to know them. It's really cool for me that this falls into place kinda. So 2007 is my first tournament in Vegas. 13k, 20th again. God damn, so many 20th places. You see that shit? Anyway, okay, so back to what we're talking about. I still did this and I had already played an EPT. I don't know what EPT London was back then, like 3k or something. 4k. What was Deauville? 4,000. Jesus Christ, this is 3 months before I went to Vegas my first time. Alright, maybe, you know, maybe that was just, why raise? Yeah, I don't understand why I would raise the turn. If somebody takes this line, I get this raise, this one. Like, what does it do? The ace doesn't really, he's not gonna, if he bets this, he's not gonna fold a hand like Jack 10 most of the time. There's no point in raising. You just flat. If you hit a straight or a flush, then you put more money in the pot. If you don't, you don't. It's easy. I don't understand what this does. It has no fold equity, nothing. This seems silly. Like, in my head, my hand improves, but it doesn't. It actually gets weaker because King Queen gets there. My hand doesn't get stronger. I mean, there's a limp pop preflop, right? Oh, okay. Okay, the one thing that we could say here is that the guy could have kings or queens, but I don't think he's betting that on the turn. Yeah, a little bit of a punt. Alright. 5-6. This is the last big pot that we played. This is on the same day. Call. Ooh. Well, okay. Let's look at the stack sizes. I have a decent hand. At least I'm playing it aggressively. I'm very much happy that I didn't flat the 20. Short stack. They almost have nothing behind. And I want to push this guy out. Realistically, I think I should just fold because I can't really play this hand for the value of it. Look at this action. Like, your 6 doesn't really have much value. You know, your draw could be fucked by different draws. I just think this is a bad proposition. Oh my god. Just gambling right now. Oh my god, yeah. 7-5. This is so bad. I got punished. I really deserve this. I should just fold it. You should not. You should be able to get away from draws if they're just not that appetizing, or if you have a pair and a draw. Like, look at the. So I'm saying in my head I have a pair and a draw, right? Like, look at the components of it. My pair is a 6, no kicker. My draw is a 1-card straight draw on a flush board. Does that really sound like a powerful hand when it goes 10, 20, call? Oh, do. I'm all in. I mean, at this point, I kind of should. Look, what is this guy's equity here? 86%, 9%. This is chop outs mostly. This guy has some running diamonds, and yeah, this guy is nada. Wow, this is bad. This is really full blown fucking bad ass poker. At least I raised the flop, but I mean, I should just fold it. All Alright guys, let me just look what the biggest 3 pots were on these takes. Biggest 3 pots of 1, 2, no limit this year were the hand with, let's show the known cards, against the kings. This one, oh my god, that was such a bad fucking hand to play. We got 3-bet, we 4-bet, one of the first times I guess, and he led, and this is where he pot shoved the turn. And we made a terrible call on the turn, I feel, and even this is just pretty sad. And 7-9 versus 10-8. This was a good one. This is where we actually went for it on the turn, and we got 9-7 to call. So this one was played really well. It's all pretty aggro. Like there's so many big bets, and at least I wasn't afraid to call bets either. So there's that. And this is no surprise that this ended up being the biggest pot, where we shoved 2 times pot on the river and got called. Really beautiful. This must have set some groundwork for some later stuff as well. I'm very happy that you guys tuned back in. As usual, please like, subscribe if you really like the content. That really motivates me to make more of the same. We do keep track of all that stuff. If you guys want to check out the merch, yes, here you go. This shirt, it is available. Click the link. I wanted to have something to represent my fucking army. On Twitch we have the Beakers and the Terminator theme, and most of you guys know that because there's so many people that watch and hang out and have fun. And if you guys like the shirt, there's more coming too, but there'll be a link in the description. Peace out, see you next time. We're gonna be tackling 2-4 no limit. First time we actually start grinding that. I'm very excited to see what happens. I really think that around this time I started to make some fucking progress. I'm really curious to see how we're going to develop ourselves. So it's really interesting to know that this is already a time when we started playing EPTs. This is after 1.5 years of playing poker. So I thought that that was way later in my career, but it's cool. I don't think we're ready for it yet, but we will see how that develops. And I think that 2006 is going to be a massive fucking year to look at. But let's first finish 2005. There's 3-6, 5-10, 10-20, all of it coming. See you next time. Thank you so much for watching.